Family sticks together.
Of course. Of course. Family sticks together just like Zerglings. Means it's always bad if your family runs into a baneling.
Oh, it's very bad. Very devastating to see that. Wow, that's a very heart-wrenching image. See my family ran into a baneling. Because my family are Terrans. I don't know about yours.
They all clumped up. Miniraser just complimenting Ragnarok on his excellent micro there. Ragnarok trying to eat the humble pie, saying, "Oh no, very danger, TT, almost lose."
It was close, but those mutas popped at just the right time. And very good execution, position-wise especially, where to morph your banelings. It's something you wouldn't think of, but having it on that ramp when he was trying to move past his expansion and get into his main to do any kind of damage he could against the drones.
Loved Miniraser's build, man. High aggression baneling play, even faking the lair and sort of transitioning into that. It almost worked. Really, the only reason that Ragnarok was able to win that game is because he apparently has an extra set of hands.
Quite possibly, but we'll see what's going to happen in Game 2. Miniraser, I'm sure, wants to win. Why wouldn't you? The winner of the Open Tournament, the top two actually will be placed in the wildcard seed that we're going to have that will feed into the finals. And this season has had a $100,000 prize pool. Total, I believe first place for the finals is going to be $30,000. So there's definitely something at stake between these two players.
Yes, sir. Hatchery first out of Miniraser. Ragnarok this time is playing the safer bet, going with the 15 pool. So these guys just kind of putting the shoe on the other foot. I wonder if Ragnarok will follow this up with a crazy baneling all-in.
That's quite possible. Banelings were successful for him, at least holding off banelings, so maybe he wants to have Miniraser taste a bit of his own medicine. At the front, his spawning pool does go down, back of his mineral line. And the expansion hatchery from Ragnarok is going to be morphing as well. I wonder if drones volunteer to morph into different buildings, or if there's a selection process.
I think there's a good chance for that. I think every drone has an aspiration, right? And the really cool thing about Zerg is, you might start your life as a drone, but you can finish it as an Ultralisk Cavern. You can go places.
You could be a hive one day.
It's not like being a Terran or a Protoss, where if you get dealt the probe hand, you're going to be mining minerals your whole life.
That's true, but the probes do warp in.
I think Zerg players are probably capitalist.
Really?
Yeah.
What would Terran be?
I don't know, man. Minx
socialist?
Minx is not a good guy.
Protoss is kind of more tribal.
Protoss is very fundamentalist.
Yeah.
I mean, they have zealots.
Well played. Well, Zerglings do pop out from Miniraser, going to chase off these Zerglings from Ragnarok. Was not able to scout as much as he probably wanted to here, looking at the vision of what each of the players have seen. He does see the expansion, and for Ragnarok, he does know that there is an expansion as well. So, both players with an informational plan accordingly here. Queen is out at both of the hatcheries. One of the hardest things about playing Zerg, at least for a new player, is getting down the injection timings right. But after you play it long enough, I feel that you have kind of a sixth gamer sense of when you know the injections are ready to go for your hatcheries.
It kind of becomes ingrained into your fingertips, man. I remember when I was first learning to macro and develop my mechanics, I played with a timer. And I would, when my first queen would pop out, I would start my timer, and every 30 seconds it would beep. And that's when I would know to inject, and I did that for a couple of weeks. And eventually I could hear that beep in my sleep.
Every time I see banelings, I panic. So I had to teach myself not to panic when I would see them and be able to split my Marines. Gas going down. Second gas for Miniraser here, as he is almost done with his metabolic boost upgrade on his spawning pool. Third gas actually going down. In the front of his base, going to have a spine crawler to kind of fend off any of those Zerglings running by. Baneling Nest is on the map for Ragnarok. He has 2 banelings in production.
Yep, and it's purely defensive right now. Miniraser's going for the very fast lair. I think I want to suspect that he's trying to go Spire, but Ragnarok with a great scout. Couple lings get past. Very sloppy by Miniraser to allow that to happen. You really want to have a queen blocking the ramp with maybe a couple of Zerglings on hold position, or even 2 queens. You cannot, absolutely must not allow your intentions to be so easily scouted like that. We do have a 4-gas Miniraser, no tech. It will be Spire almost certain. I suppose the only other option is that he goes for Fast Infestation Pit.
Well, the Spire does go down. You were correct, Mr. Bitter. And looks like he's going to have some mutas in the mix here in the next minute or so. Overlord's moving out, trying to get different map control, map positioning. But still pretty defensive so far for both players.
2 more Lings run past, and if there was never if there was ever any doubt, there is not anymore, as Ragnarok knows all. He is completely aware of the state of this game and what he's going to be playing against. His layer's a little bit later, so we might see Ragnarok try to go Infestation Pit.
And he does have an outcrop of banelings there forming outside of Miniraser's viewpoint
that's
here.
That's very interesting. Miniraser with some great gamer senses is looking around for it, though. Actually, he's just going to clear out his third base. Now he's going to spot the Baneling, so he knows exactly what's up. It's going to be a very difficult hole to make. A great initial micro from Ragnarok, trying to trade some Zerglings for some Banelings. He does do so, and actually great exchanges there for Miniraser. Hasn't lost anything but Lings and successfully kills every single Baneling. What beautiful control by Miniraser.
0 workers were killed. They did take a lot of damage, though, some as low as 7 health points. But they live to mine another day. But a lot more Zerglings are moving into the mineral line, trying to destroy what they tried to destroy with the Banelings, but the drones are going to move up. The Zerglings are going to get a surround on 1 queen, 2 queens, both queens are killed. And a couple more Zerglings are moving in to try to reinforce.
Still pretty nicely done. Losing 2 queens is a very painful thing to have happen, but we've got mutas popping out, man. 10 mutas will be in play. A couple of Banelings going to try to connect up in the main base, but again, with the good control, Miniraser stays alive. Man, both these guys have great Zergling Baneling micro. Ragnarok, as we suspected, is going to try to get some infestors out, but it's going to be about a minute and a half before they're on the map, and that's going to give these mutas free reign. Does Miniraser go straight across the map, or does he go for the Overlords? It looks like he is, in fact, going to cross the map. This is the right decision, by the way, Clutch. Overlords, not so fast, so they're still going to be there after Miniraser decides that he's not going to do any additional damage with these mutas. It's absolutely the right choice to go for the main base.
Well, and there he goes, straight into the main base. 3 queens there trying to shut him down. 4, actually. But mutas are going to try to target fire them.
Oh, great job picking the queens with energy, and he's going to get 1 queen, 2 queens, 3 queens will fall. The mineral lines are pretty well protected with spore crawlers. Infestors are in production. Miniraser's not going to stick around for too long. He knows it. He's going to peace out, and now he can start to hunt those Overlords.
5 infestors, 6 infestors about to pop for Ragnarok. He is sending some Zerglings down to the 3rd. Put some pressure there, however. Miniraser is able to answer that with Zerglings of his own, even though Ragnarok's going to move into his base to try to see any more information. And he's going to see the Infestation Pit, the Evolution Chamber, and the Roach Warren going down.
Just because he sees it, though, doesn't mean he can really do anything about it. As look how heavily supply blocked Ragnarok is. 75 of 68. It's about to go deeper. There are still 2 Overlords out on the map that Miniraser could kill. He's still got to find them, though.
Infestors at the front of Ragnarok's base. Going to be able to defend with those fungals. They will have enough energy here in a couple. They do have enough energy for the fungals, but the mutas, they have to be careful. They try to hit the front of his base.
Don't want to go that way. Oh, scary times. Wow, whiffed fungal there. And that could, of course, be the latency that we're seeing. Miniraser right now is trying to find an opening. He actually would not mind getting these infestors to waste energy on small packs of these mutas. Look at him trying to dance. Great control by Miniraser. Really wants to punish in whatever way that he can the infestor player, the very passive defensive infestor player.
And very smart to split his mutas. I mean, he had 3 that were just attacking. He's got 2 right there at the front of the base, being able to see what's going to happen. And that fungal used on 2 mutas is actually more in favor compared to 5 or 6 mutas. But he moves past the 2 that were at the front and gets the fungal on the 4 that were in the back. Drops some infested Terrans, and those mutas are going to go down.
This is going to be very costly. Every infestor is going to fall, and Ragnarok is going to be punished for his greed there. Really wanting to kill those mutas, not able to satisfy himself with just sitting back and being safe. Another fungal lands on a pack of mutas, but this is not going to do much more than well, I was going to say scratching the paint, but mutas don't really have pain.
No, they have glaive worms. They destroy anything that's painted, really, especially bouncing around. Yeah, well, Ragnarok moving his roaches to around this area. He's trying to stay away from the vision of maybe some Overlords and trying to get some more pressure on the 3rd base here, as there's a lot of roaches that have been made by Miniraser. Actually, let's look at the unit tab. He has 24 roaches to 10 Ragnarok's 10.
Yeah, Miniraser's in great shape right now. Ragnarok's going to come forward and try to attack this third base, but Miniraser's going to say, no sir, not going to happen on my watch, and those roaches will be chased away. At the same time, though, Zergling run by up in the main base. This could have been more effective if roaches weren't just happening to be spawning at the most opportune times possible. Good catch by Miniraser.
Yep. And he's going to find these roaches with his mutas, be able to take them out as fast as possible. But those Zerglings are still in his main base, trying to do a little bit of more damage to those drones, but they're going to escape. Be a little bit more of harassment for Miniraser to take care of instead of actually doing any damage.
That's right. Lings all getting cleaned up. Roaches are out on the map. Muta's still harassing, forcing these infestors to use yet more energy. Finally, I think the last of the Mutas have been dealt with. But 35 roaches out on the map for Miniraser, representing a serious threat to Ragnarok's future. Miniraser does not have to attack right now, and I think it would actually be a mistake to force an attack, going up a ramp into infestors. That's one way to give the game back to your opponent. Instead, he should be satisfied to work on 3 bases, maybe drone up a little bit more, begin his Hydralisk production perhaps. Something that Ragnarok's already doing, interestingly enough.
Yeah, Ragnarok with the proxy hatchery next to his main, definitely going to want to get more of those larvae out to try to deal with the amount of larvae that can spawn for Miniraser at his third. Taking down the rocks right here with all of his roaches. Looking at the upgrades, Ragnarok is at +1 on attack, 0 for defense, and the same for Miniraser, matching upgrades for the projectile weapons of the roaches.
Yep. Ragnarok surprisingly staying very close in this game, despite the fact that he's not been able to take a third base. The real advantage for Miniraser is going to be made apparent after this next couple of production cycles. He'll be able to max out, whereas Ragnarok does not really enjoy that luxury. Miniraser with 3 hatcheries, mining on all 3 of those bases. Still no... Oh, he does have Hydralisk tech. He's just not using it right now. That's a little bit interesting. Lots of roaches is really... I mean, he can get it done with pure roach, though, that being said.
It's possible. A couple of the roaches from Ragnarok trying to scout the third to see where the units of Miniraser are. He does see them, sends the roaches back, gets a little bit of damage, but he knows he's not going to make it, and he's going to prep his forces at the front, and Infestors in the back. Hydra's mixed in with the roaches, and they're going to get ready for this attack from Miniraser.
Yeah, Miniraser's going to go for it right now. Huge concave being set up. I love the way he's executing this attack, and great fungals going down on top of all the roaches and the Hydralisk. Infested Terrans being spawned by both players. Almost impossible to tell whose beach ball belongs to who. But not going to matter. Miniraser clearly with overwhelming numbers going to crush everything at this third base, making his way up towards the natural. There's enough energy for a single fungal left on Ragnarok's Infestors, and he will plop it down. But all for naught. Miniraser going to take game number 2, Ragnarok GG's, and we will have a game 3.
Now, very nice tactics to use in that split. He actually pushed up the ramp to his first expansion while most of his forces moved into the third. And to be able to split the focus of your opponent is crucial, really, in games like that where they're almost even. But with the nice fungals, it was a victory for Miniraser.
Miniraser played that entire game just beautifully. I was very impressed. Game is brought to you guys by GoToMyPC. We're offering remote access to your computer from anywhere on the planet. Head on over to nasl.tv/p/GoToMyPC to check out that software. We're going to take a short break. Game number 3, the final match, perhaps of our pre-show.
Well, at least of this series. We'll find out.
All right, guys, don't go anywhere. More StarCraft 2 coming up.